Welcome to Startup Hack. I'm Spencer Thompson, and here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers in our licensed boot camps and build custom software solutions for companies. So I do a lot of work as a fractional CTO. With over a decade of executive leadership and a solid 25 years in building software, I've mastered the art of transforming technology teams and products. So Amazon is forcing its employees back into the office 5 days a week. And trust me, they've got it all wrong. In today's video, I'll break down why this is a bad move and how you can build a better remote team that fosters innovation, engagement, and real results, which is what Amazon says they're trying to target, but I don't think that's really the case. So let's dive into this today. All right. So first, let's briefly address Amazon's latest move. According to recent reports on various different sources, Amazon's CEO has mandated that employees return to the office a full 5 days a week. This isn't just return to the office. They're tracking how much they're being badged in, how long they're there, so they can't just go check in and clock out. So the official reason, they claim it's about fostering innovation and collaboration. But let me tell you, their employees aren't buying it. Head over to Reddit and a lot of other places, and you'll see post after post from frustrated Amazon workers who say all they do is show up to sit on video calls with coworkers on the next floor or even down the aisle. If Amazon's CEO would just take a minute to listen, he'd know that forcing people back into the office is not the way to spark creativity and innovation. So what should Amazon and you do instead? Now, the biggest thing about working in a remote environment is communication is absolutely king. In remote environment, over communicating is actually essential. You can't rely on casual office interactions anymore. So you have to do regular check-ins and make sure your team knows that you're there to support them. Don't hesitate to reach out. It takes effort to stay connected in a remote world. Now, the next thing, and I tell all my remote employees this, turn your cameras on. Seriously, so much of communication is nonverbal. If you're only relying on emails or voice chats, you're missing a huge part of the conversation. So turning your camera on during a meeting helps to foster connection and trust. It's a very simple tip, but it makes a big difference. Now, I know I've heard a lot of people talk about complex being on camera, whatever. You have the same complex about showing up in person? Like that would be my same question to that. Turn your camera on, spend that extra effort. I think others around you will appreciate it, and that there's so much of communication that is body language and other nonverbals. So the next thing is trust your team. In a remote environment, micromanagement can be overbearing to a lot of people. So instead, you want to empower your team by working with them, trusting them, communicating with them, and check in, right? Like we have great patterns here at Startup Hack where we build custom software solutions for folks on our software consulting side. And with that, we work very closely as a team. So I tell my team all the time, if you're not sure, let's jump on a call and knock it out, right? So pair programming, like there's a mentorship, there's a lot of things that can help to foster this. So, but at the same time, as manager, we don't have to overly micromanage. When people feel trusted, they're more likely to take ownership of their tasks and deliver results. Now, ultimately, flexibility matters. One of the biggest advantages of remote work is it gives your team the freedom to work when they are most productive. Not everyone works the best at the exact same time, and that's okay. Flexibility allows for a more balanced and productive team. The flexibility also means that you can be geographically flexible. You don't have to be locked into just certain areas. So if your company has systems that aren't connected, reach out to us here at Startup Hack because we have a great set of teams that work to help help companies build custom software solutions to connect your systems so that your company can work like a well-oiled machine. So check out startuphack.com/Spencer and we can help you out. Now, productivity can thrive remotely. Despite Amazon's concerns, studies have shown that remote workers are often more productive. Without the distractions of an office, people can focus on deep work, which leads to better outcomes. Amazon's rigid policy is stifling the very thing it claims it wants, which is productivity. Now, you've got to be engaged. Remotely working and just sitting off in a corner and huddling by yourself is not what I'm talking about. Just because your team is remote doesn't mean that you should feel isolated. Foster engagement by holding regular meetings, creating virtual team building events, and keeping the company culture alive. It takes effort, but I promise it pays off. Now, career development in a remote setting is super crucial. Just because your team isn't in the same physical space doesn't mean growth should be ignored. Regular one-on-ones, huge on mentoring. Like, definitely want to make sure you're mentoring, because this is good for both the senior who's doing the mentoring and the junior who's being mentored. So this provides a huge learning opportunity, and they're even more vital in a remote setting to make sure your team feels supported. Now, retention is linked to flexibility. If Amazon continues with a rigid RTO policy, they're going to lose top talent. And I actually think that's actually what they're going for. I think this is a thinly veiled ploy to actually get people to quit. So if employees who feel trusted and valued in a flexible remote environment are far more likely to stay with the company long term. With hiring costs at an all-time high, retention is critical. So remote work encourages diversity. You're not limited by geography to where you're hiring. This also opens to a more diverse workforce by allowing people of different gender, people of different race, cultures, and experiences to contribute to your team. I know that I really love being able to work with folks overseas. And by working in a remote environment, we have actually built software teams that can develop around the clock. So diversity leads to more creative problem solving and solutions. So again, if your company has some systems that aren't connected, reach out at startuphack.com/Spencer and we can help them. So cost savings are a win for everybody. Employees save on commuting, lunch, and other expenses, while companies save on office space and utilities. These savings can be reinvested into more meaningful areas, such as team development or product innovation, or I have an idea, pay for your employees, right? Mental health and work-life balance are key benefits of remote work. Remote environments allow employees to manage their personal responsibilities without sacrificing work, reducing stress, and improving overall job satisfaction. Now, I think the future is in remote. Amazon and companies like it, I think, need to wake up to the fact that remote work isn't a passing trend. It's not just a COVID thing. Companies that embrace it will attract top talent and remain competitive in the digital age. The ones that stick to outdated policies, I think they're going to be left behind. Now, it's tough to argue with the behemoth that is Amazon, and I know that's why they're taking these draconian stances. But to wrap it up, Amazon's return to office policy is stuck in the past. That's my stance. I love having a great, healthy discussion, so the best thing you can do is to leave a comment down below, or to like and subscribe, or share with a friend. That's actually like the best compliment you can give me. But I think we can build a strong remote team, but it requires communication, trust, flexibility. Innovation doesn't come from forcing people into a cubicle. It comes from giving them the tools and freedom to thrive. Whether you're a large company or a small startup, remote work can work, and it can drive your success. So what are your thoughts? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I genuinely love having a great, healthy conversation. So let's talk about it. Here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers in our licensed coding bootcamp. We spend a lot of time and effort to train developers. And then also to work on and we take most of these from our coding bootcamp and employ them into our custom software solution side, where we build software for companies. So reach out, because we'd love to help. Hit the link down below or check out startuphack.com today. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, because we bring you lots of great tutorials and tips that every developer should know. See you next time.